Hello, welcome to my channel. Here is part 2 of my easy seascape video, and it's for the surf and the shoreline, and I'll also be adding details to give depth and dimension to the painting. I hope you enjoy it. Here we go. Well, as you will know if you've watched any of my other videos, I'm an amateur painter. I share my painting experience and what I've learned over 30 years of painting. And I've got to be honest, I don't feel that this is my best seascape. There are a couple of things I struggled with. One was the surf, and two, I don't know if I should tell you this, but my daughter said to me, "Are those rocks in the sand?" And I said, no, they are actually meant to be sandpipers. But I'm thinking of letting the viewer decide what they are. They could be rocks or they could be sandpipers. I'll let you decide. So here's where we left off in part 1. I drew a yellow line to delineate where the breaking wave would be. And since I've done this painting, I've got more ideas about how to make this a simpler process. So I always say you have to paint 100 of anything before you're truly comfortable with it. I had to paint 100 roses before I could turn out a decent rose. And I've only painted about 10 or 15 seascapes, so I've got a few to go. But anyway, I drew that line, and then I used raw sienna, a little cad yellow light, and some titanium white to make the sand. If you've got Naples yellow, that is a lovely sand color all on its own. I just couldn't find my Naples yellow. I moved recently. I can't find half my stuff. And so anyway, now we've got the foreshore in, and I'm going to work on the breaking wave and the surf. I decided to use a large bristle round and load it with titanium white, and I'm going to pounce in the surf along the line that I created, along the crest of the wave. I did this, and as I say, I struggled somewhat, and I had a problem today with the form of the wave. And I think I've got it at long last, so I'll be doing this painting again sometime in the future to see if I can't narrow it down to, say, I don't know, 5 or 6 simple steps to doing a landscape painting. I thought I had it, but this painting proved I haven't quite grasped it. But anyway, you can see through my struggle, you might be able to see where I went wrong and help yourself that way. So I wanted to put it up anyway. I don't do everything perfectly, who does? And I think it's good to see what other people are doing. There are some marvelous wave and water painters on YouTube. One of them is Mural Joe. I probably will never remember to put his link in the description, but it's Mural Joe. He does beautiful water, and I learned something from him. I still haven't quite made it my own, but here's a good attempt anyway. One thing I feel happens is when the wave sort of drags back up to roll over, it drags with it the foam and it breaks it apart into these little lines and cells, which I haven't quite managed to create in this picture. But as I say, this is a good attempt, and I'm not unhappy with the final outcome of the picture. I've got to say, I think it looks like surf on a windy, blustery, choppy day. So, what can I say? I've loaded my brush quite thickly, the same bristle round, and using my finger to flick the spray on top of the wave. It makes it look more wave-like if you've got that wind-blown spray up there. If you do too much of it, just take a damp brush and brush it away. It's not hard, especially if you're painting with acrylics like I am here. I should say I'm painting with acrylic paint on 140-pound watercolor paper. I use paper these days for these demonstrations simply because I've moved into new quarters. I've moved in with my daughter actually, and I have less space for storage at the moment, and I'm working on that, but I'm using paper because it's easy to store, and you can paint with acrylics on it. This bristle fan brush actually did quite a good job of giving me that sort of concave shape of the wave when it's sort of drawing up to curl over. I used it in both directions, the curl over and the drag under, and I thought it worked quite well. I have never used a fan brush for that purpose before. I usually use a flat. I love painting with flats. I can do most things with flats, and but the fan brush worked very well. Both the wave and the foam beyond it cast their own shadow, so I use a sort of pale blue as the shadow just to make it look more foam-like. One of the problems I had with this surf is that being unsure of what I was supposed to be doing, not having quite grasped the form of the wave, I dabbled away at it way too much. And I should have just left it, gone made myself a cup of tea, and come back in half an hour and put out fresh paints. I think I would have been more successful that way. I just have to practice these. Like I say, I'm okay with the end result. It just took me way too long to get there. And I think if I were doing this again, I would use a dark paint, a blue or a green, and make the form of the wave curling first. And then once I have that, then I would build the foam around it. I think that's probably the best way to do it. And I'll do that again soon and I'll see if it works. I'll show you. Sorry about the dogs barking. They think the road is all theirs and no one else should be on it. I'm using a large round brush for the body shape of the sandpiper rocks, and I'm just sort of laying the brush straight on the canvas, paper, whatever, and that's the main body shape or rock shape, depending on how you're looking at this. And I'm going to do the legs and head and beaks with acrylic markers because they're very fine details. I just don't have a brush that I feel confident I can get a fine enough line with. The sandpipers have a brownish greyish wing, and then underneath they're white, and so I'm using a small round for the under part of the bird. I've also said before I like to paint objects in odd numbers, 7s, 3s, 9s, whatever, because I think it's more charming to the eye. There's probably a reason for that. I don't know what it is, but I'm putting 9 altogether of these rocks, sandpipers. I'm putting in some flying birds, and they're flying into the picture, not out of the picture. You don't want your eye wandering off out of the picture. And I just do a simple V line and put a little dot or line underneath for the bird's body. I think it looks a little more bird-like if you do that. I mean, you could just go with the V line. It reads pretty good. But I think that if you add that little tiny dot or line underneath the V, it does look more bird-like. I think these are sandpipers. They're a little dark for sandpipers. Maybe that's why my daughter thought they looked more like rocks. And they're just a suggestion of a bird, really, or rock, depending on how you're thinking of them. I don't do very detailed work. I think I like my paintings to look loose and, not too tight and detailed. I really like these acrylic paint pens for details, for signing my name, things like that. They're much easier to use even than the finest brush that you can get. I actually left the picture a little while. I had to go take the dogs out. And when I came back, I was looking at it and realized it needed a little extra in there. It needed something to lead your eye into the picture So I thought a few tall buildings in the distance might help. So I'm pretending these are condominiums. I just took a 1/4 inch flat and loaded it with white and just made those shapes. They're very indistinct, but they do give you the idea that there are tall buildings in the distance. And then I thought I need a sailboat or something. So I did the exact same sort of curved swipe in yellow for a sailboat, and that's all I did. Nothing else. I didn't put the bottom of the sailboat, the actual boat, in there, just the sail. And it gives you the impression there's a boat out there in the water. And it leads your eye further into the picture. This is what it's all about, putting something in the middle distance to take your eye into the picture, to circulate your eye around the picture, to keep you focused inside the picture, the painting. Well, that's part 2 of my easy seascape, and I hope it's been helpful to someone. And it was certainly helpful to me because I think I have a better idea of what I'm doing when it comes to breaking waves. And I'm going to give that another try, maybe a few more tries, and see how it goes. And I hope you enjoyed the video. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.